was crazy. What? Today, I'm joined by Charlotte and Rosie, the founders of Island Society, a new community for women on the Isle of Man to connect, make friends, and have fun through great events. Rosie used to run a women's networking group in Dubai, and when she moved back to the island, she wanted to create something similar here. Charlotte shared the same vision, and together they launched Island Society to help women find connection and belonging right here on our doorstep. In today's chat, we'll talk about how it all began, what community really means to them, and the exciting plans they have for Island Society. How are we, ladies? Okay?
Good,
Yes,
thank you. How are
good,
you?
thank you.
Yeah, good. It's just a shame about the weather, obviously.
Yes.
It's
Half
typical
of
Manx
the
weather,
course.
isn't it?
Yeah, not
Well,
ideal.
So I think we just get straight into this, really, and find out where it all began.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm interested to find out where, was it that you noticed that there wasn't anything like this here on the Isle of Man, or, yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Slightly, wasn't it? It was. I feel like
I
it
think
was.
there is maybe similar sort of different kind of things, but maybe
Yeah.
doing different things that might not have been what we would want to do.
Yeah,
So we just wanted to basically do things that we want to do as well, and
yeah.
basically thought that
And make
there was
some
basically
friends.
a need for it. So
Yeah.
before I moved here, I'd started doing a few TikTok videos,
Okay.
and I noticed that quite a lot of people reached out to me
Mm-hmm.
wanting to sort of be my friend,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
sort
yeah.
of people who had moved to the island as well, or people who had lived here their whole lives,
Mm-hmm.
who just sort of said, oh, it's quite hard putting yourself out here and things like that. So I definitely thought there was a need for something like this. And then obviously with Rosie already doing it,
Mm-hmm.
I'd said to her, like, I think we should do something like this. And obviously she already had the knowledge and the expertise and
Yeah.
already knew what she was doing.
Hopped on the bandwagon.
So yeah.
Yeah.
And I think we make quite a good team as well. 'Cause we're
A
both quite
sisterly
different.
team.
So
And what type of events, what type of socialising did you guys miss here on the Isle of Man, if that makes sense? You said it wasn't what we want to do.
No.
So what is it that you like to do?
Well, for me coming from Dubai, I feel like I like bougie things.
Yeah.
Which I don't think there's too much of that. I think basically I was just thinking it'd be nice if we could throw like a Christmas ball or something like that
Okay.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Maybe in the future, not right now, but looking forward.
Yeah,
Things
yeah.
like that where people can like get dressed up and go out and
Yes.
just more for females. I mean, who knows? One day it might evolve and
Yeah.
guys can come too.
Okay,
you know?
yeah, yeah,
We can
yeah,
sort
yeah.
it out.
I'll come and get dressed up.
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, I think from my side, that was what it was. In Dubai, you're doing brunches every weekend and stuff
Oh,
like
really?
that. Yeah, and there's not much of that happening here, as far
No.
as I'm aware anyway.
It seems to be sort of
No.
behind the times,
Yeah.
slightly in that
yeah,
sense, maybe.
yeah. So we're just gonna
Yeah.
See
try
how
and
it
bring
goes.
a bit of that, and yeah, mainly just for people to make friends, ourselves
Yeah.
included.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
you both aren't native from the Isle of Man,
No.
are you
no,
right?
no.
No, but we've been coming here for about 17, 18 years
Yeah.
now.
She's not strangers to the
No,
place.
we used to
No.
come probably like 4 or 5 times a year. So we've
Yeah.
Mhm.
we've
But
adjusted
it
really
is-
well, haven't we? We do feel like it's home
Yeah.
already, really.
Yeah, but it's definitely a different experience living here
Yeah.
and having to make friends and meet
Mm.
people and
How easy do you think it is to make friends here? Obviously, without the likes of Island Society.
I think without things like that, and also maybe social media, it probably is quite hard. I
Yeah.
think.
definitely.
I think for me, it's probably a little bit easier. I think when you're a parent and you're a mum, you go to like groups and things like that,
Yes.
so you can meet people that way.
Mm.
But I think for someone like maybe you at your age, I think
Yeah.
it probably would be a lot harder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Because
because
you're
I
not
think
just gonna go to a pub and just meet.
no, and
random
I think
people, are you?
the difference between Dubai and here, and again, it'll be the same with Island Society. We might have to like adjust slightly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
I
to the Isle
think-
of Man.
Dubai is consistently new people coming and going all the time who need new friends. So there's a
Mm.
lot of networking
I
groups
hadn't
there.
thought about it like
Yeah,
that,
there's
actually.
all kinds, and I mean like New Zealand as well. It'll be
Yeah,
the
yeah.
same kind of vibe. Whereas somewhere like the Isle of Man, there's not that many new people coming.
No.
It's people
Not
who've already
young
had
people
their
anyway.
friends.
No.
Yeah, people already have their friends from high school, you know. So and they kind of stay in their cliques and their niche.
Yes, and
Yeah.
strangers beware sort of
Yes,
thing.
yeah. Which was for our first event. I was aware that there will be people that know each other there,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and probably some people might not get along. But
Yeah.
and then
Everyone did, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
someone did say like that there was 3 girls there who had the same ex-boyfriend, but everyone was getting along,
In that
and
small
they were all ended up chatting to each other. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, well that's good. And They said they'd been to events like that before, but they weren't as good as ours. So that was a really
Bingo.
Yeah, we got.
positive. Yeah.
Someone said to me when they were leaving that she was a bit optimistic about coming because she didn't know. She's been to something before. It was very cliquey
Yeah.
and a bit like bitchy kind of thing. And she just said this didn't give that vibe at all. And she did say, I
Bingo.
think because you're not from the island, how
Yeah.
could you be like that? Because you don't really know anyone. And I said,
Yeah.
like
Yes.
we're not cliquey. We want to be friends with everyone. We want to know
That's a
everyone.
great
We want everyone
point.
to feel
Sort of an
comfortable.
outside perspective
Yeah.
on it in
Yeah.
a sense, isn't it?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that can make the difference altogether because people
Yeah.
need that. Those fresh faces
Yeah.
is sometimes can just spark some things in people and like, oh well, this
Yeah.
is my group now,
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
and that's really important, I think. And
Yeah.
it sort of stems from connection within that group and trying to build connection between people. So at your events, at the Island Society events, what type of activities would you do to bring people together?
Yeah. Well, we had some different interactive like flashcards thing, which I always do at
You like a
events.
flashcard?
Yeah. But one thing I will say is that you don't actually need as many activities as you think. The very
No.
first event I did in Dubai, I had so many things planned because I was like, I don't want anyone to be sat there
Yeah.
not having someone to
Yeah.
talk to or feeling awkward or uncomfortable. Like that's just the worst thing. But people get chatting and you can prepare loads of things, which we did, but we didn't end up using half of them.
No, people
We-
were just chatting to each other and
Yeah.
mingling and.
Sat there with a
Yeah,
glass
than
of
we
wine or
thought.
something,
Yeah,
just chilling.
yeah.
I think you always need a bit of alcohol.
I
to
think
get
Definitely
people feeling
loosen up a
relaxed.
little
Yeah,
bit.
I think our first event as well. Obviously, we were really surprised by how like fast it sold out. We did have a bit of panic, like, oh, I don't think anyone's going to buy any tickets. And like within a day, it was sold out. And we were like, oh
Yeah.
my god! But also the diversity of the ages that were there, like
Yeah.
there was such a difference in age group. There was some people there who were a little bit older, like our mum's age, and then there was younger girls, but everyone was really getting on and
Chatting,
chatting. And there was only a couple of people that came on their own.
Yeah,
A lot of
one
people
or
did come with
two.
a friend or
Yeah.
something like that. And I
So it
thought,
was
oh,
still
they
good
might.
that they were chatting.
Yeah, and I thought, oh, they might just stay with the friends, but they
And
didn't.
not
They all
talk to the
still really did
people.
interact.
Oh,
They
you
all
didn't
so
want them sort of
great.
in different sides of the
Yeah.
room
they
in
did
their own
everyone
little
just
Yeah.
was chatting and getting
Yeah.
on, and
Yeah,
and
because
they
there
all
was a
said
lot
they
of people who came, like maybe 3 or 4
Yeah.
of them, but they still were chatting to someone
other
else
people,
who came with 2 or
yeah.
3 people, and they all
Perfect.
It was
kind of
great.
yeah. But back to your question about the games. So, cause
Yeah, don't worry, I go on
Yeah.
all the time. It's a horrendous habit.
I think because it was wine tasting, that was the main thing.
Oh, yeah.
Taste the wine.
Activity.
Yeah, so we had some little
definitely did
we had
taste
some
all the
little
wine, didn't
cards.
they?
They
They were
did, yeah.
drunk.
People were drunk. We had some little cards to like rate the wine.
Ah.
But don't think anyone really
No,
used
I
them.
don't think
People were just drinking instead. And
There was
then
no
yeah,
like swilling it around and sniffing
no,
it.
there
It was
wasn't.
just, they were just
Smell of the
glugging
wine.
it.
just down in it. We had some little microphones, and we did like a take a sip.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
it's a bit like a never have I ever kind of thing.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
to
that
get
was
to know
good.
people.
Yeah.
And then we had some little calling cards with just like questions to pass around. You know,
questions kind of
what's
thing.
your job?
Yeah.
What do you love about your job?
Yeah.
Yeah, just icebreaker things.
That's the way that does help people connect, and it's so important that people do connect in that
Yeah.
sort of event, don't they? Like,
Yeah.
you don't want the room split.
No.
And do you think women? This is a bit of a strange question. Do you think women connect differently to men in that sort of environment?
Yeah, for sure.
Like
Yeah,
for sure,
sure.
because I mean, I don't know how an all-female event goes, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. I only know it from a male perspective, like
Yeah.
hanging out with other dudes.
Yeah.
And I think it's probably two completely opposite
Different,
environments.
yeah. I don't know if it would really work that way.
I think like that girl did say that some things where you've maybe got a group full of women, you could imagine that it could be a little bit bitchy and cliquey and things
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
definitely.
So obviously that's sort of 100% something we would never ever want, and we
No.
would always like to make sure that no one was ever isolated or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I think in a group of women that might be what people could think.
Yeah. I think for
and that's probably
men-
the difference between men. I don't think there's obviously none of that with men.
No,
No.
Men are just like, you're right.
No,
Yeah.
but I think men struggle to make new friends for sure because women are more likely to go to something like that. A guy would be like, I'm not going to do
Yeah,
that.
that's true. Actually.
I think men need to
Yeah,
do
if there was a thing
sports
you
or
wouldn't want to go.
something.
Yeah,
you'd be
most
like,
blokes
you
just
know,
be like, "I'd sit
Yeah,
at
to
home
a
and
male
fucking tell you."
networking event, you probably won't
No.
go. But I think men make friends through sports. I feel like a
Yeah,
lot of
that's true.
people play
Yeah.
paddle or tennis or
Yeah.
football or
Rugby,
basketball,
whatever else.
Yeah, I feel like that's where guys mainly make their friends.
Yeah,
but
I'd
it should be
agree
a
with you
thing.
there.
I mean,
you
if
should
yeah,
do it.
yeah, if
You
there's a
should
male
do a
networking
male
thing,
thing.
maybe can set you up,
Merge
help
them
you out.
together.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm sure there are men on the island who are
Yeah.
lonely and don't have
And
a
there
lot
is
of friends or
networking
whatever.
events, but they seem to be very business based. I think.
Yeah.
From my experience, I've got
Yeah.
a few friends who go to business networking, but I never really heard of a blokes
Yeah, no.
come down and
There you
have
go,
a bit
maybe
of a
we should do
giggle.
it.
Yeah.
got ideas sparking in my head.
You've got
right?
ideas sparking in my head, sat right here. Yeah, no, that is fascinating actually. And it was
Yeah.
at the Vino at the first event. am I
first
correct?
Yeah, it
one
was
we
really
did,
good,
yeah.
wasn't it?
Yeah,
It was a really
good.
nice.
They were a good
venue.
host.
Yeah, lovely place.
Good.
Perfect, because it wasn't sat down either. I think that's what made people
Yeah, so everyone was
move around a bit more,
mingling. Yeah.
for sure. But I was just going to say, I think here, because like we say, people already kind of have their friendship groups.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm sure people are still open to make new
Yeah.
friends, but I think it's more about just the fact of doing an event that you wouldn't find here, or
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
to do.
Something
to
new
go-
as well.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
want to go out once a month with your friends, but you don't just want to go to a pub. Well,
yeah.
we're going to do a sip
That's
and
what I was
paint
gonna
event that
say.
you can come
Yeah.
to. It's girls, it's
Yeah.
fun, it's
Yes.
entertaining.
I think for someone
so-
like me as well, like I'm a single mum, so
Mhm.
it's not often that I get to maybe go on a night out or do
Yeah.
something like that. And when I do, I want it to be really good. I want
Yeah.
to do something
Yes.
really different and exciting and
worth
fun
it, yeah.
because it's worth having that
And
one night.
as you get old, as you not get old, that's probably the wrong word. Sorry. As you develop and
Yeah.
maybe as a single mother, how do those female friendships change? How do your friendships sort of change when you have a young one to look after, more responsibility from like a 22-year-old
Yeah.
Yeah.
girl? What's the difference to maybe 28, 30? What does that
I mean,
change?
obviously, it's different, obviously, because your dynamic is different. If you've got friends who are also mothers, then
Mhm.
obviously the dynamic's not that different because they totally get where you're coming from. I still have quite a lot of friends now who haven't got kids, but if you make the effort with each other, obviously your friendships are still fine. And I think at that,
I think it shows who are
yeah,
your
I think
friends.
at our group
That's
as well,
a good
like
point.
there
Some will
was
come
definitely a
and go.
mixed bag. One of our questions at the take a sip was like, if you're a mum,
Yeah.
and it was definitely a mixed bag. And obviously those people were all interacting with each other. It didn't matter that some were mums
Yeah.
and some
No,
weren't.
but-
Like,
yeah.
but no,
Another
I think
thing we want to kind of go down the route of is Charlotte to do some.
yeah, I want to do some like probably
Yeah,
more
just-
mums
just for,
nights
like, the
out
mums.
kind of things.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'll be loose.
yeah, but,
Mums you don't get out very
Yeah,
often.
yeah,
They'll love a
going
glass
more
of
for the
wine.
Letting the hair down and going crazy.
yeah.
And
So
so
that's
they
something
should as
she
well.
can do. I'm not there yet. So.
Yeah, and even not they don't have to just be like that. But it can be also be more casual things, maybe with children as well.
Yeah,
yeah, like
Like
take
bring your
them to
kid
the
and play,
playgroup
and
as
you
well.
guys
Yeah.
have a natter and a cup of tea
Yeah,
or something like that.
exactly,
Yeah, exactly. Because there is like there is play groups and things like that, but
Mhm.
it's hard. It is hard, I think, especially when you come somewhere new.
Yes.
And also sometimes walking into something like that that's already an established group here
Mhm.
can be quite daunting because again, mums all know each other, and you're sort of just walking in with your
Yeah.
kid like, oh,
Yeah,
can we be friends?
Yeah,
You actually
sort of
do
throw
feel a little
your
bit
kid-
like a kid again.
Throw
yeah.
your kid into the environment
Yeah.
as well as you. You're both
Yeah.
in that. Yeah, that is
Yeah.
fascinating. And when you've got a child, you don't have as much time to
No.
socialise, do you? I
Don't
suspect.
know.
yeah.
You're focusing on other things, really.
Mhm.
And how have you managed to balance setting all this up as well as day to day, the pair of you, really? Like, is it more of a side hobby, or are you guys taking this? Serious.
Right now
Serious.
it's just,
it's
just a
hobby,
side
but
thing. Yeah,
Hopefully, maybe one day. It'll be...
yeah. I'm
Hopefully
waiting. I'm
yeah.
opening a salon soon in
Oh,
Douglas.
okay.
So I'm just waiting for that to all get done.
Yeah.
This was always on our radar to do this.
Mhm.
I don't think we were going to do it as soon as we have.
No.
But I was kind of like, I'm
So we're
twiddling
probably
my
start like
thumbs at
next
the
year, weren't we? But
yeah.
then, yeah.
I'm not doing anything right now, so I was like, I'm just like waiting around and getting bored.
Yeah.
Might as well start this, get to meet some people, introduce ourselves. It just goes hand in hand.
And
really.
also the run up to Christmas is when people do want to do things.
yeah,
as well,
yeah,
don't they? And-
get out a bit more.
yeah.
Yeah, when the weather's gloomy, no one
Yeah.
wants to sit in the house all by themselves.
Yeah.
Or,
No, and I
you
think that
know.
was a big part of it because a lot of people did reach out to me and sort of say, oh, the weather here and
Yeah.
you won't want to do anything in winter and
Mhm.
people get, stay at home all the time. And I thought, well, no, if there's something nice where people feel like they want to make the effort to come to it
Yeah.
yeah,
and it gets them out of the house, then obviously
yeah.
that's great. And, we've got ideas like all up to Christmas and stuff, haven't we?
Yeah.
And
Perfect.
I think that the great
Yeah.
thing about it is that every single one that you do is different, so
Yeah.
it sparks creativity in you because you're thinking of
Ah.
a different venue,
Yeah.
a different
Yes.
theme, like all kinds of different stuff.
Yeah.
It's not just like the same thing every month.
Mhm.
So, and that's what I think hopefully will keep people
And it's
wanting
once a
to come
month.
again.
We're gonna try.
We're
You're
gonna
gonna
try.
try.
We're gonna
aim
try
for
and do
that,
once
yeah,
a
at
month.
least.
I mean, maybe obviously in the future we'll probably even do more than once a month, but
Yeah.
for now, once a month.
Yeah.
But I think as well, different activities or different events will then obviously maybe entice other people, like something.
Mhm.
Some people who came to the wine
Yeah.
one might not come to the next one, 'cause it might not
Yeah.
be what they like, but then other people might come to that one. And
Yes.
So
And
yeah,
it
then-
grows,
yeah.
and people pick and choose which
Yeah.
one.
Exactly.
And so you'll have them all as tickets. You can't. You said this last event was ticketed.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
What was the reasons for the ticket.
It was more
for the
because obviously the
tickets.
venue, like obviously they wanted us to sort
Yeah.
of how many people there were and
Yes.
things like
yeah,
that.
yeah. So it was
Ah, that makes
maximum
sense, actually.
25 people.
And also, you don't really want to be stood there thinking, is anyone going to turn up?
yeah, yeah.
Like,
Whereas if they
What
bought
if
a
no one
ticket,
turned up?
Exactly.
Yeah.
it gives
And
them
of
an
course, like
incentive.
there's resources that we're going to their venue. They want
Mhm.
money, so
Yeah.
they
Yep,
have to
yep.
pay per person.
Also true.
Yeah.
For each person to be their maximum capacity.
Yeah.
And then the ones that we're going to do a sip and paint. Whether we do that at a venue where we have to pay them per person
Yeah.
for all the alcohol they're providing, or we
Mhm.
have to do it
Provide it
ourselves,
ourselves,
and then
yeah.
we've got to buy all the canvases, the
Yeah.
paints, so all of that. Just
Yeah,
goes
you got to
into
Yeah.
cover your costs,
Yeah, of
haven't you? You don't
course,
want to be
exactly.
running at a
Yeah,
loss. That's
yeah.
a wise. That's a
Yeah.
wise
But
idea.
we're not,
it's fair,
we're not doing
isn't
that
it?
now. We've said we're fine. We're not bothered about making any money. We're
No,
happy
we
to
just
do
wanna-
non-profit. We just want to connect and
Yeah,
meet
yeah,
Yeah,
lots of
and
friendly
that's fair. And people
Yeah.
will understand
Yeah.
that as well. I think
Yeah.
most
Yeah.
genuine
Mhm.
people will anyway, won't they?
Yeah.
Yeah,
For like 100%, they will. So you think it
Yeah.
was a success?
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely,
Success. Yeah.
yeah, it was really good.
Big
We've had lots
great
of positive
success.
feedback
Yeah,
afterwards, haven't we,
great
as well, of
success.
people. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that spurred us on now because
Yeah.
I feel like literally we
Driving on.
yeah, when we posted it, literally like 30 minutes after, I was like, we've not even sold a single ticket yet. Oh my god, no one's gonna come. I was like, what if no one
Only
comes?
30
People
minutes.
hate
Though. I was
us.
like, Rosie, give it a time. Give
Yeah,
it a bit
and
of
then
time.
like 24 hours later, we'd sold them all
I
out.
know.
24 hours.
Yeah, it was
Perfect.
fast. Yeah. So it was buzzing with that.
Yeah.
That's
so hopefully
a great
keeps
success.
going with that
Yeah.
momentum, and hopefully the people that came to the first one and enjoyed will tell their
Mm.
friends.
Yeah, they
and
were
wanna
all
come
saying,
to
I'll
the
be
next
at
one.
the next one, I'll be at the next one.
Yeah,
We've had lots of feedback from people, but as well saying, like, I met loads of new people. I've
Mhm.
made friends with loads of people on
Mhm.
Facebook and Instagram and stuff. So
Yeah,
they
yeah.
have all made friends with each other. And
Connected.
yeah.
so then hopefully they'll see each other again at the next
Yeah.
one. And
That's
then
what
onto
you
their
want,
friendships
isn't
are
it?
going to blossom as
Mhm.
well.
And will
yeah.
you allow them, as the society grows, will you allow them to maybe contribute to ideas?
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
we
we've
did
said
say that
that,
on the
yeah.
Thursday on the night. We said, we have plenty of ideas, but we'd love to hear from you. If
Mhm.
there's anything that you
Yeah.
think you want to see,
Yes.
anything you'd love to do, like, we're completely open to ideas. Let us know and we'll plan it for you.
Yeah.
So,
Like an event
yeah.
planning
Yeah.
for everybody, essentially.
Yeah.
I guess so.
And-
What do you think the island's missing, kind of thing? And then
Yeah, and then
just-
them.
What
Yeah,
did
because
they
we
say?
don't
What did they
know.
say?
They'll
What-
know more than we do.
Yeah.
What
I don't
was-
think anybody actually said anything on the
Nothing.
night. I
Yeah,
don't think they
there
did.
was only we'd spoken because we'd already suggested sip and paint. Someone
Mhm.
had
Yeah.
suggested maybe a venue for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A friend of hers, and then the girl who made our cupcakes, she'd said maybe we could do like a Christmas themed decorate a cake or
Ooh.
something
Yeah,
like
she'll
that.
do like all the
That would be
baking.
cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be good.
Yeah. So if we can like collaborate with people in some way,
And that's the
always
best way to
great, yeah.
spread the
Yeah.
word sometimes. Collaborating with people just
Yeah, for
grows
sure.
grows
Yeah, she's
everything
a small,
outwards,
like,
doesn't
small
it?
business. She makes cakes
Yeah.
and stuff, so it's obviously good for her as well.
Yeah.
So
And they were really good. too.
yeah, they were really good. We had
That
them for
makes
breakfast the
everything
next morning,
easier,
didn't
doesn't
we?
it?
Yeah.
Yeah, they
No,
were
that
actually.
is fascinating. So you don't think likes of Douglas and the pubs are a good place to socialise? Is that sort of
No, I do.
Yeah.
But I think as some girls like to do like a brunch where you can get dressed
Yeah.
up a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't think many people, like if you go into the pub, you're going in your jeans and trainers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally.
And there's a load of lads in there too.
There's that blooming butterfly. again.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not a lot of opportunities to get dressed up.
Yeah, and I think there's a difference between nothing against the lads, but
Yeah, yeah.
there's a difference between going to the pub with the lads or going to a wine tasting event with the women. Like they
Yeah.
are two different things.
Completely different.
You know what I mean? And
things.
if there's not that much opportunity to do that,
Mhm.
especially for a fun event, like we want to do stuff where it's like, old songs, like maybe old
Mhm.
ABBA stuff, or
Yeah,
old girly
Ooh.
songs,
themes, and
things that
like
guys
yeah.
probably wouldn't care about. You
Yeah.
know,
I mean,
Unless-
some might.
some might, yeah.
You might find the odd one that might.
Yes.
And so, how would you guys say a newcomer came and say somebody who no one knew, they came by themselves?
Mm-hmm.
How do you introduce them to a group? Because, or do you just say, right, here's everybody, go for it, or you're like, my name's Percy.
So we didn't feel like we needed to do that at this one.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I mean, we didn't really feel like we needed to. I know because everyone was so lovely.
Mhm.
People walked through the door and everyone was just hugging each other, even though they didn't know each other.
Yeah.
Everyone was just like, hi. It was such a nice vibe.
Yes.
When we did the like raise take a sip thing, we did say like if you've come on your own, take a sip
Mhm.
kind of thing. We said, and everyone look around and if you see someone that's taken a sip, then
Yes.
obviously let's make an effort to make sure that
Yeah.
they're not on their own. But
It is,
I don't
isn't
feel like
it?
there was a
Effort.
couple of people who came on their own.
Yeah.
They weren't stood on their own at all.
No.
Everyone, everyone was making the effort.
Yeah, but I think we're aware, like, to answer your question, we're aware, obviously, who comes in and says,
Yeah.
I'm on my own, I'm shitting myself type thing. Then we'll be like, okay,
we would
this
definitely
person's on their
introduce-
own,
yeah.
and then we'll introduce them to people, say, oh, they've come on their own, blah, blah, and then they kind of take them under the wing. And, you know,
Perfect.
Yeah.
if
But
there's
we
anyone
didn't-
who we
didn't
already
feel the need
know.
to do the whole, like...
No, I don't
right, it's
really.
really-
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah, we
awkward.
did- yeah.
And I think that's when we got the microphones. I think that's what everyone was expecting, and I'm like, we're not going to do that because
No.
it is you are
Bit
keeping
isolated.
yourself-
You're like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is scary that you sweaty palms type thing. But, yeah, so I think it just flowed.
Yeah.
I do think you need some sort of icebreaker at the start of it, but
Yeah.
I think if the event's right, the people are friendly, nice people
Mhm.
that come, then it's not going to
Bingo.
work.
Which
you know?
I personally do feel on a whole. I've not met anyone
Met
really
anyone-
who
yeah,
isn't
yeah,
friendly
same.
here. Like
No.
everyone has been lovely.
that's
Yeah.
that's the idea, and they do say that
Apart
about the
from people
Alman.
on
Yeah.
Facebook. But
Yeah, Facebook people. Yeah, I've seen all your stuff on Facebook.
people in person have been really
Yeah.
kind. So.
Mate, the Alaman's notorious for
Yeah,
keyboard
I've
warriors.
heard.
I think it's quite savage.
Someone said something about what was it? Something about a crab, and he was like, "Google it. It's a thing."
Manx crab.
Yeah, where
Yeah.
something
Everyone
about not
tries
getting
to
out of the
drag you
bucket or
down.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All crabs in a pot and they're trying to pull each
Yeah.
other down. That's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
whole
Yeah.
analogy around
Yeah.
that. I don't know how much of it I believe. You just sort of have to be you and just
Yeah.
keep it
of course,
original.
Yeah.
If you try and be someone you're not, you are going to be
No.
criticised because people can smell bullshit from a
Exactly,
mile away,
yeah.
can't they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And people are good at smelling it as well, to be
Yeah.
fair. What advice then would you give to people moving to the Isle of Man?
Come to Island Society.
No, as two people who have recently moved here,
Yeah.
or been coming here on and off for a long, and then now moved here permanently, is there any advice you would sort of give to them?
I would say you've got to put yourself out there for sure.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Whether that is going to the pub and if you're a guy, meet a friend or
Yeah.
go to sports events, whatever. But you definitely have to put yourself out there. Even if,
Yeah.
I mean, we've come as a family, so it's easier.
easier for us 'cause
But
we-
I
yeah,
think
we're
it
not
would
on our
also
own.
be
You've got each
easy.
other.
It would
Yeah.
be easy to just stay with our
your family
family,
and not-
but
yeah.
then you know what I mean. You have to
For
put
me,
yourself out and
I'd-
make friends.
When I decided early in the year that I was moving here, and I did put like a couple of posts on
Mhm.
the Facebook groups asking for recommendations for like play groups and preschools and stuff like that. And I'd met a few people through that as well. And someone had tagged this girl in it who'd also moved last year from near where we're originally from.
Yeah.
And I met up with her a few times before I actually moved. And when I'd got in touch with her to say, right, I've booked my ferry, like this is when we're moving, she said, oh, that's amazing, but I'm moving back
Oh,
because you've been much more tenacious than me. I haven't put myself out there. I haven't made any friends.
Yeah.
I'm feeling really lonely. And I was like, that's why it's so important that you can't move somewhere new and just be at home all the time. You really have to make that effort to make new
Yeah.
friends because
get out your
otherwise
comfort zone.
you are going to feel lonely.
Yeah. And which people bash social media for,
Yeah.
but you wouldn't have even met
No, I
half
wouldn't
these
have even-
people.
yeah.
If it wasn't for
Social
TikTok and stuff, like,
Yeah.
and you're able to make that first step. I've had plenty of people who I've met that are my friends now who've messaged me and said,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
I saw that post or I've seen you on TikTok and
Yeah.
if you need a friend,
Yeah.
let's go out for a drink. I know you're new here. And
Yeah.
that's how I've now got the friends that I have. So if
Yeah.
you didn't
Yeah,
have social media as a platform,
my like main friends that I've made here, I've made
from
through
social media.
Yeah.
Why do you think social media has a negative stigma sometimes from people? Because I mean, you
I think
guys
there
are
is
quite
pros and
active on
cons.
social media, but
Yeah.
like, why do you think? I mean, from a bloke's perspective, people, yeah, it's a different story. But from a girl's perspective, why do you think people do have that negative
I
sort of
think
view on it?
more the people who have a negative, probably more the older generation who aren't really used
Yeah,
to it.
they
I
don't really
do think, like
understand
people
it.
like our grandparents and things like that who don't
Yeah.
really, they never had social media, so they don't really understand it or
maybe setting their
understand the
ways
benefits of
to-
it. And yeah, but it's setting the ways. I do think most.
I
young
also think
people
there are
are
some young people though.
Is there?
Yeah, and I think people just think that
You
there's not.
experience it a bit more. Than
Yeah.
me, to be fair. Rose is a bit more present on social media, than me,
Yeah.
so I've not really had the back.
Yeah, she's had really nice people. I've had a few bad ones, but everyone else who I say in person has been nice. But I think people just forget that like there's actually a person reading
Yeah.
everything that you say. People just
Yeah.
think
That is true.
you can say whatever you want online and there's no repercussions and no one's going to be upset. It's like
Yeah.
it's not true. And that's one thing from like I post on TikTok and stuff.
Mhm.
When I was in Dubai, I'm always getting fake accounts and people saying nasty things.
Yeah.
Which probably has got to me, but you have to learn to ignore it. It doesn't matter that
Yeah.
much.
It's
But
just
then
someone
moving
behind the
here,
board,
Yeah.
isn't it?
yeah, I think moving here and then all those comments I got, that did actually upset me because I was like, these people, I'm going to be amongst them. They're going to see me in the supermarket. I'm going to meet them in the pub, you
Yeah.
know, and they're saying like nasty things about me and they don't even know me. And I think people just judge
Oh,
online.
Yeah.
Because I bet if they met me in person, they wouldn't say it.
Yeah,
They wouldn't
you
even think I'm a
sound-
nice
Yeah, they wouldn't
person.
think anything of it.
People
yeah.
just jump to conclusions online, and I think.
And it was because it was twisted.
Yeah.
It wasn't really what you
Yeah.
said or anything like that.
But I
It
just
was
think
nothing to do with you,
anything
really.
online, people people think that they can just say what they want, and
I'd actually agree with you there.
Yeah.
The keyboard warrior thing is such a true.
It is.
It really is.
Yeah, even back from
statement.
the start of Facebook, that was when that term
Yeah.
came around,
And
wasn't it? Facebook.
you've got to be careful that you don't. I mean, I don't really read comments or anything like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I
No,
just
yeah,
if
you've
people
got to try
can
not
say
to.
sort of what they want. I'm
Yeah.
happy being me. I'm happy putting
Yeah.
on there what
I
I
think
want to
it's
put
easier
on
said than
there.
done though sometimes to just ignore it.
Yeah.
and
You
read
can't be
them. Sometimes you
replying to
can't help
negative
yourself.
comments and
Maybe
stuff.
Sometimes you can't help
especially as a
yourself but
girl.
read them all and then you're tormenting yourself like.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, everyone's been really nice. So
Yeah, cool,
good.
cool. And what would you guys say that you actually like about the Isle of Man? Like what
The nature.
What
I
do you
don't
actually
really-
like
I don't
about?
think
You were
there's
saying that
much
you
that I
hate
don't
bugs
like.
and everything before.
Yeah, I don't like
There's
bugs.
loads of
That's for
that.
sure. I
But
don't
for
like
you, you've gone
spiders.
from being in Dubai where there was like no greenery and
Yeah.
she's like, oh my god,
Which I
there's
didn't think,
greenery
like, I've
everywhere.
always been I've lived in cities and stuff, and I've never really cared that much about
Mhm.
nature. I'd always pick maybe a nice beach club over
Yeah.
a mountain walk, But now I've come here, I think maybe because I've not had anything like that in Dubai, I'm like, wow, look at these trees, look at these
Yeah.
hills, look at the
tree.
ocean. Yeah, I'm just like blown away by
Right.
the smallest things. And even on like a moody day like today, it's still like nice.
It
even.
feels
it's
like cozy,
cozy,
doesn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
When it's peeing down with rain outside.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Maybe nicer sat inside.
We used to always say that when we came to visit though, like we used to come and visit and in the winter and stuff, we always used to say like we loved it. We used to always feel like it was really
yeah,
cozy.
it's always
Different,
been our
isn't
it?
favourite
Yeah.
place. Yeah, it's a lovely, lovely
Character.
place.
There's a lot of character on the Isle of Man
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
itself. I think it's quite an
Yeah.
expressive place.
Yeah, and
which
the
is cool.
history as well.
Yeah.
I think
If you've
it's
got a
like-
history, if you're a history nerd, it is the place for you to
Yeah.
come. Really.
Yeah, I just think even like we live in Peel, so
Mhm.
like walking around Peel Castle, it's like
Yeah.
I'm always just thinking who built this.
Yeah,
like,
who was
like,
living
someone
in
who's
here or
so
whatever?
far dead and gone who's built this whole thing, and now I'm just walking around it hundreds of years later. It's
Which is a
crazy.
mental thought.
Yeah, it is.
That is crazy,
Yeah.
actually.
Mm.
So where do you sort of see moving on then?
Mhm.
Where do we sort of see Island Society going then in like the next? Have you got a vision? Have you got a little bit of a vision? We touched on it before.
Yeah,
but,
hopefully
like,
it just keeps getting bigger and growing.
you
and
said about
more
balls
people
and stuff
come in
like
and-
that.
yeah.
That
Yeah,
would
I
be
do
pretty
think,
nifty.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think maybe next Christmas that's on.
But we'd
my
already sort of
radar,
touched
I
on that
reckon.
maybe for this Christmas, hadn't we? We sort of said,
A Christmas do
especially
of
for
some
you,
sort,
because like
yeah.
Rosie's obviously in like the beauty industry
Mhm.
where sometimes before, especially Dubai, like Rosie worked on her own.
Yeah.
So she said if you're someone who like that, who does work on your own, and you've got all your friends who work maybe in offices and whatever, and they go on like a Christmas do, and you don't really get to
Yeah, you
do
feel
that.
left out.
So she said like, we should have a Christmas do, and we did put that to all the girls at the first event, and everyone was like, that's such a good idea, like a Christmas do, and for just the girls, everyone just go out
Yes.
together or whatever. So yeah, like I say, just that, and then we'll just get bigger and
yeah.
Keep growing. I mean,
Yeah.
you've got a good following already. To be fair,
yeah.
Yeah,
it's
thank you.
it's growing and it's. I think it is. I think you've got the potential to do it, guys. I do. I think there's a real option for something because the Isle of Man is quite often 10 years behind everywhere else. So if you get the jump on it, it's
Yeah.
absolutely ideal, really.
Yeah.
What other, you got a ball? What else could you sort of do? What other ideas have you had?
Yeah,
What
all
like you
sorts
said,
of
you got
things,
loads
but-
of ideas. What's
Yeah,
going
we
through
can't
the
share them
brain?
all with you, can we? Because someone might steal them.
Yeah, someone else might do them.
You might steal them. Who's going to take all our
All the
ideas
blokes
now?
trying to get paint. We'll do some paint on some plates
Yeah,
or something
sip
like
and
that.
paint for all the guys.
What about like guest speakers or anything like that? Would you have people influence
Potentially,
women
yeah,
influencers
yeah.
coming over
Yeah,
to
idea,
talk to
yeah.
groups and
Yeah.
people like that? You
Yeah.
know, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Influential characters on
Yeah, we could do all that.
positive.
I think stuff like we were saying maybe like a Pilates class, like and
Yeah.
basically
That's
going
cool.
collaborating with businesses that are already
Mhm.
here that
Yeah.
might be interested in having the girls go and meet them, or because a lot of people might not have been to a Pilates class because they might think,
Yeah.
oh, I don't really want to go and be
No.
intimidated.
Yeah.
But if they're going with a group of
Yeah.
girls
Who they
who've
already
also-
And they've already
know.
met as
yeah,
well,
and have
yeah.
never been to one as
Yeah.
well, you'd be more inclined to go.
100%.
You know?
And that's a sort of nice way to start wrapping this up, guys. Really, I think
Yeah.
that I am incredibly interested to follow this because it's new and it's different, and I like people stepping out of the comfort zone and having a real good go at it, and ignore all the people on social media as well. You're gonna get,
Yeah, of course.
you are gonna. I mean, you're
Yeah.
gonna get shit
Yeah,
no
you
matter
get
what
that
you
wherever
do.
you are.
Yeah.
I think
Oh,
that's
yeah.
just one of them things you don't.
Yeah,
really-
if you're putting yourself out there, you have to expect it a little
Yeah,
bit. don't
you do. Yeah.
Yeah, not everyone's gonna like it, are they? I
No.
suppose. Well, not everyone can like it, I suppose.
No.
It'd be
Yeah.
a boring old world if everyone liked the same thing, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we always ask like a final question on these podcasts to every guest that comes on here,
Okay.
Mhm.
just to sort of build up a bit of a history of what people think, really. And that
Right.
question is, if you could change or improve one thing on the Isle of Man or about the Isle of Man, what would it be and why? Don't pull that face at me, Rosie. That was a bit of a face pull.
I
That.
need more longer than
Have
the
a little
5
think.
seconds you're going to give me.
Yeah, no, have a
I
little
actually
think.
think for me probably not much
prove it.
because the reasons why I moved here were more for my child, to be fair, and obviously for him to have a better life, which I think the Isle of Man 100% offers. So
Yes,
I
for bringing
don't
up
really have
children
any
to
negatives
safest
about
houses,
the Isle of
isn't
Man,
it?
to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I agree,
Um,
to be fair. I just think what
we're doing is probably,
essentially,
yeah.
Which is why we're doing it.
Don't
Why
worry,
we're
no,
doing it,
yeah.
yeah.
You
know,
yeah, just to blow you. I was going to say that, but
Yeah.
uh-oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
And society
trying
is what it
to save
needs.
the island. No, I think it's just just something like that. I mean, because we're girls, so I
Really?
think, yeah, I think for us that's what we thought was missing for
Yeah.
ourselves, what we would like to do, and
Well, we were sort of looking for like events and stuff to go to, like
yeah,
you know, like you say you live in Dubai and you do things like that all the time. I was not far from Manchester, so if it was someone's birthday or we'd go to a brunch,
Yeah.
we'd go to an
Yeah.
event, we'd go to a show, and just didn't seem like there was that many things here that were similar to what we would have used to go to.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
thought, well, there's probably other people that want to do that as well,
yeah,
and it seems that there is. So
Perfect.
yeah.
Thank you very much for coming on, guys.
thank you for
Yes,
having
thank
us.
you.
Absolute pleasure. I just had a whirlwind there. Cheers, everybody.
Thank
Bye.